Hey guys, Annie here. Welcome to today's video and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Willow Creek and we are on the BFF lot and we are building a colonial style family home. So this home comes in at it's a 3x2 bedroom home, 2 stories with a closed floor plan. So this is a little bit different to the homes that I've been building lately that have been more open floor and spacious. This is definitely more a confined closed floor plan, lots of hallways and yeah. So within this house you do have, so you've got the 2 bathrooms. One of the bathrooms is a very narrow bathroom and I'm surprised I was able to make it work, but that's downstairs, kind of wedged between the back door and the dining room. And then you've also got a study. You've got a pretty spacious living room that has an area for children to play and whatnot. In this build, the rooms are designed for, I believe, a child sim and a infant sim. And then obviously your master bedroom. Upstairs, there's not very much room at all. I really had issues with the floor plan upstairs. It took me a little while to configure it. You actually won't see any of that struggle in the recording. I've cut most of it out because it was honestly, it was a good 10 minutes just trying to get the upstairs to work because of where the stairs were. So often with colonial builds, you have like an entryway and then it's kind of almost like a straight line to where the back door usually is. And where I had the bump out for the front door was a little bit off center. It wasn't center, so therefore the stairs that for the upstairs were off center, and then that made that very small space really difficult to navigate to work out bedrooms. All right, so what more can I say about this house? So again, this is on the lot where the BFF family were in Willow Creek, kind of that starter neighborhood, you would say, in Willow Creek. And I think it's a better use of the space. I always find that that house really only utilized one half of the lot. Also, it's good to note that the inspiration for the front of this build was from Pinterest. So basically the front of the build came from Pinterest and then everything else I just kind of made up. We are now into the floor plan. So this is where we, as you can see, we're upstairs. I think I do start with upstairs. I did jump a lot here, as I mentioned before. I had a lot of issues with the upstairs, so I cut a lot of that out. But basically, we're just starting to see it all come together now. So we've got a child's bedroom in the corner there, and then a bathroom, the master bedroom, and then a kind of an infant's room. And that's the upstairs. There is a little nook there that we put a couch and a bookcase. And then on the opposite end, we just put a desk, like a plain desk. Because there is a child sim, you know, they could do their homework there or just a desk in general. All right, so downstairs, so you've got the entryway, you've got the dining room and kitchen, and then you've got that really obscure, long, narrow bathroom that separates the entry to the back porch. And then on the opposite side of the build, you have the large living area and then a decent-sized study. In this build, as per normal, I only furnish 1 bathroom on camera, so you will see that when we get to it. The outside, I did try blue. I was going to go for a blue Suburban, but I thought for a colonial style build, they are traditionally white with dark shutters, dark windows. So that's what we've done in this build. Just putting out, matching the fencing from the front of the build and placing all of these columns. I'm trying to think, I believe these columns might be from university and they actually suited the build really well. And the freezers, not the freezers, sorry, the spandrels. The spandrels are actually from Snowy Estate. Because of the roof trim and whatnot, I needed such a wide spandrel so you could actually see the spandrel. So I was really happy with those in the white swatch. All right, so we do have a little bit of, I guess the archways between the hallways do make it feel a little bit more open, but I thought that they were necessary as opposed to a door. I just thought it looked a little bit better. We're going around the build with some windows. I do believe we just keep it simple with these base game windows. These are my favorite windows. When in doubt, I always just use these. And I decided to not put any windows on the north facing, the side bump out, like windows at the very front of it, just because that's where I want to put my TV. And it's just easier if there's nothing against that wall. Okay, so we are now into the landscaping. So we've mapped out all of our dirt sand. I've done a kind of a makeshift driveway with terrain paint. And the interesting thing to note about the layout of this backyard is I've also included the growing together treehouse, and I thought this was a really good item to include, mainly because of the size of the yard. So we just had so much extra space, and I thought that this would be a way to fill that. Landscaping is very simple. I wanted obviously the house to be the focal point, so I just kept it simple with some white flowers and some yellow flowers. So in this backyard, you've got we do a small pool, like a curved pool. It's not very big. It almost looks like a plunge pool, but you know, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And I wanted some extra trees at the house, the front of the house. So I sized one down and made just kind of like used it to help shape where I wanted the side path to go, because I wanted to connect all of the fences and the gates, all of the gates to a path. So I've done that there. I haven't used Seasons in a little while, so I thought I'd use these chairs from Seasons, these love seats, and just do like a little seating area out the front of the build. I then feel we're going into the backyard potentially. These outdoor lights from Lovestruck, I love those. Those were mentioned pretty highly in the modern build that we posted last week. So if you have not seen that build, go check it out. It's also kind of similar vibes. The outside looks very similar, but it's more of a modern take as opposed to a more traditional take, which we're doing here today. I used the for rent pathing here. I just thought it looked the most kind of plain, and I really liked the color of grey it was, if that makes sense. So I am using half tiles or quarter tiles. So if you press Control F on a floor tile that you have open, it will turn into a half tile, and that's how I'm able to do those special little corner bits. It just makes it look a little bit neater and just adds a little bit of difference to the path. So we only put very basic furniture out here. So we've got some lounge chairs, a little bit of an entertaining space. I do believe I put some play equipment for the kids. Might be like a swing set and no, maybe. We'll have to see. I'm sure I build so often that it might actually be in a different house. Yeah, no, sorry, that's in a different house. Oh my God, what a problem to have. My brain is just thinking of all these homes. All right, we are inside and we are starting with the kitchen. I often start with the kitchen because the kitchen kind of sets the tone for the rest of the build. And these counters from Base Game are the best. They're the ones that I think about when I think of this style of home. I think of those. Now, I didn't really like the shape of the kitchen, so I did add in another wall. It does mean that the dining room is very squish, but I think it works. I should actually have played test this before I uploaded it to the gallery. I've got to get better at that. But so yeah, if you've downloaded this build and it doesn't work, please let me know. And I can update it for you. But yes, just a very simple kitchen. I don't think I struggled with those windows because I needed them, but they really didn't look they didn't make the cabinetry look the best. So I've only used half the cabinetry in the space. I've used a kettle from For Rent and just a few clutter items. I think also because I've always grown up with a kettle. Kettles are basic in Australia because obviously our British background. So I couldn't imagine not having a kettle in a build. So yeah, I love that new addition that we've gotten. So I went around, these are the only curtains I like in the entire game. They're from Desert Luxe, so I use them everywhere. So we've placed those all around the build, and we are now in the bathroom. So this is the only bathroom that you'll see recorded. The upstairs one you'll see just finished and furnished when we do our walkthrough. They're very similar. Looking back on this, I do think I should have used a different tile for the walls. It's too white. It just looks too white. It looks very clinical, and I don't think that was my vibe. But that's okay. You know, we all see things as critics after we build or decide something. Alrighty, moving on to the living room. I have gone with Seasons couches. I like these couches, and one of the things I like about them is you have the 3-seater sofa actually has an identical matching 2-seater love seat, and we haven't been seeing that a lot lately, and that's one of my biggest gripes for new packs is that we're not getting that combination. We're getting potentially an armchair that might match, but we're not really getting anything else. I thought this would be a good opportunity to fit a piano in. That's the other thing from Growing Together that I've actually really enjoyed. I think it just fits really well in family living rooms, and I just wanted to put a whole pile of skill building and activities. I actually really like these, I don't know, they're kind of like portable cribs. I think they're so useful to have downstairs. When I play in my personal save, I think it's a game changer because unless I've got a house that's all on one floor, I just feel like it's so much easier to put the baby down when you're close by. So if you've got a pen downstairs, like a crib downstairs and a crib up, and then their formal bed upstairs, it just makes it so much easier. Anyway, so we did a little cute little area for the infant and child sim to play. This is the study. It's pretty spacious. I put in an easel and a computer and just a giant bookcase and called it a day, really. I didn't really do much in here because I think it's important to have a computer in most builds. Most things from the game can be ordered, bought, accessed from the computer, so it's a good playing tool to have. So we are now back into the entranceway. I don't know why I kind of skipped it. This is a very basic area. We've just got the rocking chair, armchair from Growing Together. I really like this cats and dogs side table. It just really fits that kind of antique design that really comes with Discover University and a little bit of base game. I did mention that in last week's Halloween build. So last Thursday, that kind of spooky Victorian kind of like it always looks like a townhouse, but it's not. Anyway, I loved that build. That was so much fun to build. It is available now to view on the channel if you are interested. All right, we are upstairs and I've just tried to fill in these hallways. So I did like a little seated area. So I used the Book Nook kit and then a rug from Werewolves. And this is just a basic sitting area with a desk. The next room we are going into is the child's room. And I wanted to have a little fun with this. So I went with high school years and we went with this really fun coloured bed. And we just kind of did a really light room. Don't worry, we do change the wallpaper in the end. That's just how I build. I always start with like a primary colour and then I change it as I decorate each room potentially. So we've gone in with lots of bright colours. We've put a Bluffy in here. I'm pretty confident that, yep, we've used a lot of items from Get Together. We put the Void Critter machine in here. And I just put some basic clutter. But I've used the colour scheme based off the high school years assets. And I think, we put some posters. I've got my nightlight. And yeah, now I did use a soccer lamp, so I thought it'd be good to use some like sporting posters, and I put the giraffe just because it matched the color scheme. And this wallpaper I don't use very often, but it's from universities, and I think it actually matched that color scheme very well. So yeah. Okay, you can kind of see in the corner there is that bathroom. So there's a sneak peek of what that bathroom looks like, the upstairs. We are in the master bedroom. This was a very basic room. I think I kept most things base game in here, except this plant actually, and the curtains. It did look very dark. I do put in an extra source of light in here. Just a painting. I really like those lamps from Seasons. They're like my go-to bedside table lamps. And I don't see a lot of people talking about them. I actually really like them. So, yeah. And then I always love that little DIY art sculpture thing with the flowers. That's from Parenthood. And I always like the storytelling element of, one of the children have made that for their parent and they're displaying it. I love that kind of stuff. All right, we are in to our final room of the house. This is the infant's room. It has very basic furniture in here. Nothing super special. We're going for a green and orange type feel and colour scheme. So yeah, just put in a chair and I think we're just putting in a plant and that is the build. All right, we are now live in game. And we're just going to have a little tour through the home. So this is that kitchen. And then you move through into the dining room. A bit squished in there, as I mentioned. The bathroom follows through into an open living area, which is quite spacious. Into the study. And then upstairs, you've got that little bay window with the book nook kit. And then you've got a desk, that child's room. That's really quite fun. Pop of colour. There's that bathroom and a very simple master bedroom and infant's room. Landscaping. So you've got that little outdoor area with a pool. You've got some skill building with the planter pots. I did miss to put some terrain paint under the planter pot, so we are going to do that now live in game. We're just going to double check that we're happy with the amount of dirt that's under all of the greenery. So I am just going to add that in very quickly. But that is it, guys. That is the build today. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this build. And if you have any recommendations for any future builds, I would love to hear your thoughts. And I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.